Kia ora everyone out there. Today I'm with Mayor Phil Goff, and we're going to be talking to him about the Auckland Council's food distribution program. And we're very fortunate to have him join us this afternoon. And yeah, it's really great, particularly as so many people are struggling at this time. So it's great to be able to talk to the Mayor about the things that Auckland Council have been doing to support our community. Kia ora, Phil. How's it going?
Kia ora. Very well, thank you. It's we're counting down the days to level 3. Why are we doing that? Well, I haven't seen my grandkids for a whole month, and
Wow.
I'm dying to give them a cuddle. So
Yeah, fair enough.
level 3 lets you expand your bubble a little bit, but
Yeah,
I think it'll be really good also to have 300,000 or 400,000 people back at work, and that takes the edge off the economic cost of all of this. But big congratulations to the government, really, because we've had I think we've got one of the lowest transmission rates, if not the lowest transmission rate in the world of any country affected. And we can be proud of the initiatives we've taken and the way Aucklanders and New Zealanders have cooperated with that. I think it's great.
Absolutely. So how has the food distribution program been going, and what's been some of your reflections on it? I guess it was something that you guys pulled together quite quickly, and has probably been quite challenging, I imagine.
Yeah. Look, it has been a big challenge. The government approached us at the beginning of level 4 alert and said, can you and other councils do something to help people who may be in a situation of stress and need, because with COVID-19 and with the close down of so many businesses, many people have lost their jobs, some businesses have gone under. There is a need for an emergency backup provision of food parcels, and I think we're the first council in the country to be able to respond to that. And what did we do? We pulled together, first of all, Spark Arena is ideal. If you've seen pictures of it, it's like a big production line, and you travel around in a circle. And you fill up everybody gets the 2 boxes of food, and it's not cordon bleu, but it's good solid food, and it's what people are needing, and other household items. So Spark Arena, we hired the arena off Spark Arena. We hired their employees who had no work to do because you're not having anything at Spark Arena at the moment. Countdown provides the food. Government pays for the cost of the food. New Zealand Couriers delivers it, and Auckland Council coordinates the whole thing, and it takes the phone calls on our call centre. Well, I just checked out the number of calls on the 0800 number. This is over, I guess now coming up close to 4 weeks, 23,631.
Wow.
And of those, 12,730 were calls for food assistance. And of those, we've delivered 11,000 parcels to date.
Wow.
So that's 11,000 people. And one of the interesting things that I noticed from getting feedback from those that were getting this assistance, they weren't registered with a local food bank, most of them. There were people probably never had to ask for anything before, but suddenly they've been hit by this thing, unexpectedly made unemployed, other bills coming in, and every family needs to be able to put food on the table for their kids, and that's really important.
So how long are you expecting to keep the program going?
Well, that's a big question. I think probably at least through until the end of alert level 3, but possibly longer if there is the need for that service. I mean, one of the great things about how New Zealanders responded to this crisis is not only have they willingly complied with what's been asked of them, the vast majority. I mean, you look at the United States at the moment, and people are out there, 40,000 people dead, and they're protesting, we've had our freedoms taken away. Did we respond like that? No, we said, hey, we understand why we've got to have social isolation. Let's do it. But hey, we're all in this together. So what can we do to make sure that we're helping those that are most severely affected? And this is an important part of it. And I'd like to keep it going for the period of time that it's actually needed.
And so for Mangere people who are still, and South Aucklanders who are still needing this service, what are some of the wait times they should expect when making an inquiry? And what's the process for them getting their food?
It should be relatively quick. We like to have a turnaround within 2 to 3 days at the maximum. I did see one complaint where somebody said they'd been waiting for a lot longer. That must have been a flaw in the system. Their contact got lost in the system, and I apologise for that. But by and large, what I've seen is that it's been a pretty reliable delivery service. And we've also been working in with other food banks. Daryl Evans does a great job in Mangere there. Yep. And I see Daryl beavering away as he has for years. So we're trying to work alongside them, not replace them.
Yeah.
I think, it's really good to have this centralised system that we can deal with the people that normally wouldn't come to Daryl, but would come to us.
So if people are in need of emergency food, they probably should still be going to someone like the Marae or to Daryl, and if they don't think they can wait 2 to 3 days. Is that what the welfare staff are telling them over the phone?
No, they should certainly continue to come to us, but there are the options. I think Wātea Marae is running something similar. Papakura Marae is. We've had some Pacifica organisations that are dealing with it. And there will be a program, I think, probably in the next week or so, where we coordinate with some of the big food banks so that there is some continuity there. But for this period of real pressure, when the food banks would just be overwhelmed and not the normal food banks would be overwhelmed and not able to meet that challenge, we're there to deal with the peak of the challenge. And at the point that we can bow out and leave it to the normal food banks, that's great. But in the meantime, we're there to provide, and we are providing, and generally the feedback has been really positive. Not everybody needs food. Some people have other requests, and we can triage those requests and put them onto social agencies that can help them meet their particular needs. It might be about accommodation. It might be about a benefit entitlement that they have, but they're not getting.
Yeah, because we've had some reports, I guess people have been waiting up to 3 to 4 or 5 days. Would that, so that's something that probably is going to be rectified then in the future, or hopefully going forward?
Well, I don't think that's the norm, because if we've had, what did I say, the figures were before, 12,730 requests, and we've delivered 11,000 of those, and we're getting, in the last 24 hours, we got 566 welfare requests, welfare assistance requests, so we're not too far behind, but they're doing their best. They're working really efficiently. But these are unprecedented times, and the demand is huge. So you might expect that sometimes there'll be a glitch, and sometimes it'll take a wee bit longer than what we'd want. But we do get there. Okay.
Now, as we move just beyond level 3, or into level 3 and beyond, what are some of the other ways Auckland Council are hoping to support South Auckland and Mangere residents going forward?
Well, there's a range of different things that we're doing. The food parcel delivery is just one of them. We've also singled out something like 15,000 people over the age of 70 who have no internet connection. And we figured out that group of people would be the group that is most isolated, and we really want to make sure that their needs were being met. And I think we've had our librarians, actually. Librarians are great people, because they're used to dealing with the public. They can't do their work in the normal way now, but they are taking telephone calls, and we've just about worked our way through that list of 15,000. And I mean, the good thing about that is that the older people, the seniors, weren't having many welfare issues, but they were lonely, and they wanted somebody to talk to. So that's another way of doing it. Our catering staff at Auckland Council, obviously there's hardly anybody in the building at the moment. I'm king of a castle with nobody in it. And they are providing 400 meals a day, 7 days a week, for homeless through the Auckland City Mission. So that's another way in which we can help. We're also doing coordinating work with arrivals back into New Zealand, people now being quarantined in hotels. Most of them are in South Auckland, in Manukau and around the airport. we're looking at how we can help small businesses that will be in trouble with their rates and any residential rate payer. So we're looking at how we can defer or postpone rates to give people some breathing space to, they've lost their job, but they'll get back into a job again. And
is
they'll be in a better position in the future to be
is
able
the
to help
Southern
themselves.
Initiative one of the agencies that South Aucklanders could get in touch with or engage with? They're one of the council agencies focused in South Auckland. What is some of the work that you're aware of that they're doing at this time?
Oh, Southern Initiative's doing a whole range of projects, and they've been going for a few years now. Some of the ones that I like best are the initiatives they've taken in getting people into training, skill training to pick up employment opportunities. They've helped work with a range of employers and government agencies for procurement purposes. So they're looking particularly at helping young Maori, young Pacifica people to get in. I'll give you the best example I can think of. I remember opening the Manukau bus terminal down at the town centre there. And, that's a great terminal. And seeing a group of about a dozen young men there, I think they were all young men on this case. Some of them are young women that are on the program. And they were so proud of what they'd done. They'd been unemployed before. And they got taken on, they got skill training, they got confidence to go on and find another job after this one finished, and they were so proud of what they'd built there. The Eastern Busway, running from Panua to Pakaranga, we're doing the same sort of social procurement there. We're running programs for people, give them a hot seat to work through ideas and develop their own business and particularly in the IT area. So there's a range of things that we can do. That we work alongside central government. So, obviously central government takes 93% of the public revenue that's raised in this country, and councils get 7% spread out over the whole country. So, we haven't got our money running out our ears, but we can do things that are really useful to help in the social area. We can work in the environment area. One of the shovel-ready projects we're looking at doing is the Puanui Stream. Now, I don't know if you know the Puanui Stream.
No, I do know.
I know it from when I was a kid, but I know it from more recently as well. I'm a Papatawitawi boy originally. And, cleaning that up so that it's a public asset rather than just somewhere where wastewater flows or stormwater flows. There's some really good projects opening up the airport links, the Puanui station, the bus lane and the cycle lane through from Puanui through to the airport. They're all some of the shovel-ready projects we've put forward to seek government capital assistance so we can get those projects, keep them running where they've started. Get them started where they haven't started, and that stimulates growth. It creates jobs. It gives people income.
Do you know, are any of the shovel-ready projects in Mangere?
In Mangere, I tend to think of Manukau, I guess. I'm a Papatawitawi boy. My wife was a Mangere girl. The projects are the ones that immediately come to head, but I've also been talking to Julianne Genter about. She's put some money aside so that we can help make safer cycleways, and we've got the Safe Cycleways in Manukau, which is based in Mangere, and that'd be a good project that we're working with central government on to see if we can bring that forward and get some more work done in that area.
Sure. Okay, well, thank you so much for giving us this time this afternoon, and I really appreciate it. I guess just one last question would be, as we expect some sort of economic downturn, do you think Aucklanders or South Aucklanders should be expecting a reduction in services or reduction in council programs in our area? Is that something we need to sort of prepare ourselves for?
Well, we've just looked at our revenue figures and we've published them, and depending on how long the disruption arising out of COVID-19 lasts, we could be losing anywhere between $350 million and $650 million in revenue. And we can't, unlike the government, we can't just go out and borrow that money. We're at the limit to what we can prudentially borrow. So we are going to have to cut back some of our spending as a council. We also will have a number of people not in a position to pay their rates immediately.
Yeah.
So that could be maybe, $35 to $125 million that we've lost. And you can't spend money that you don't have. But what we will work as hard as we possibly can to do is to maintain our essential and our core services. But there'll be some projects that are really good projects, nice to have, but they're not critical, and we may have to defer them for a year until we can get through this crisis. But I think people will understand that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time this afternoon, Mayor Goff, and all the best for as you move out of level 4, and hopefully get to spend some more time with your grandchildren when that comes to an end.
Thanks very much. Wha soi fua and ka kite anō.
Cheers. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.